Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in the gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit, going into alligator Alcatraz to be installed with the incinerators, which incinerators is basically a furnace. You know, they say you throw some in the incinerator. It's basically like when you go to the morgue and they cremate the bodies and you throw it in the fire. You know, it's cremated and it becomes a dust and ash. So allegedly, particular investors want to install incinerators in alligator Alcatraz, as the videos have been surfacing, that these Edomites, they're showing their horns, man. Okay, Esau is really showing his horns, and he's showing you Jake's what type of time he on. Because remember, they came for the northern kingdom, and all of a sudden now they're targeting Levi, you know, which Levi is the so-called Haitians, okay, of the biblical 12 tribes of Israel. Now, I believe their TPS status, which their protective status, going back into the earthquakes of 2010 in Haiti, a lot of Levites have come over here and, you know, have lived among your regular, you know, the American people. And now that status is getting ready to be revoked, they have to self-deport, or they have to, you know, encounter ICE deporting them. And the crazy part about all of it is that I believe they increased the budget for ICE. So I was listening to a video, brief clip of it, and they was talking about that they're getting ready to hire some of the most Gestapo type troops from just ruthless, evil Edomites, man, ruthless men. And we know that you so-called white people, the biblical Idumeans, the Edomites, we know that you have a perpetual hatred for the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the biblical Israelites. And they're coming after our people. They're coming after us, man. All right, because this is the time of Jacob's trouble. So, you know, we've been speaking on this ordeal since before I got into truth. The elders and the apostles are going into a time unlike any other time. And the fact that ISIS or Trump has increased the budget to hire all these madmen. I look at Gestapo, you know, they have these particular men in these concentration camps and these gulags and shit like that. And these are some of the most debased, degenerate, just brutish men that you can ever come across, like real life barbarians. And they would literally eat you from the inside out. Okay, and they showed you that in that movie, The First Purge, when Jake wasn't purging enough. And what did they do? They sent the mercenaries within the realms of Stun Island to kick off the purge, because Jakes was not purging, you know. And the dude said it. Jake said, he said, "Oh shit, these motherfuckers are the real deal," meaning they're mercenaries for hire, and they get paid to do something, they're gonna do it. Okay, so hey, we're coming into some dark times. Things are happening. Things are getting ready to increase. All right, this world as we know it is changing because they have an agenda they have to fulfill. All right, so anyway, I'm going to play this video, but it's getting real. All right, and our people, you're getting ready to get your judgment. You're getting ready to, the Lord is about sick of you. So he's getting ready to open up the floodgates of judgment on his people. And you know what? It's about damn time. So with that, we're going to play this video and we're going to keep pushing. So here we go.
Know what's going on. A girl on TikTok came on here and said that one of her neighbors received a government contract asking them to install a bunch of incinerators at Alligator Alcatraz. They're installing incinerators at Alligator Alcatraz. Alligator Alcatraz is on indigenous land. It's like protected land. Two, there are migrants. There's people being washed ashore with shackles on. People are finding people on beaches wearing shackles. This is the level that we're at. There is another girl on TikTok who is tracking flights, government flights, or like leaving detention centers, and they are just going out into the ocean and then turning around. Just going out and turning around. The flights are not making it to their destinations.
Yeah, and that was going into because they was loading those migrants up on these cargo planes, and they was just basically dumping them out in the ocean. And when you study something called, I was looking this up, it's called the Dirty War from 1974 to 1983, which was a period of 9 years. It says here, the Dirty War is a name used by the military junta or civic military dictatorship of Argentina for its period of terrorism in Argentina from 74 to 83. And allegedly they were dumping bodies out in the ocean, and find out that when they was loading these migrants on these particular cargo planes and so forth, why would you need to load them on a cargo plane to deport them instead of just a regular commercial flight, which would be, relatively cheaper? Because they were taking these migrants and they were dumping their ass in the ocean, man. All right, and this is what we're saying. This man is this man is a cruel lord, and we're saying it, okay? A cruel lord, and you niggas in America, you don't even see this. I mean, you got Jakes out there. They say, well, yeah, they getting ready to roll on us. They roll on us, but see, it's still surreal to Jake. Jake ain't really ready. Jake is playing games. They think shit is sweet, and Jake just like blase, but they're coming they're coming for our people, man. We're in the time of Jacob's trouble. Trump 2.0, he's not playing games with you niggas. They want to make America white again. They want to get all the colored people out of here, and they want to do away with us, man. So there's getting ready to be a civil war unlike any other. Play the fuck.
2 plus 2 does not equal 4. You understand what's going on right now. There's another guy on TikTok who said that he got pulled over by the cops. He's an American citizen. He just happened to have a Spanish last name. And they went and they looked through his information. They were like, we can't find you in any system. He's like, well, he had like several IDs because he lived in a couple of different states. He was like, well, I have this ID. I have my motorcycle ID. I have this. And then the cops were like, oh, you can thank your friends at ISIS. So they're taking people, American citizens. He's white, by the way. He just had a Spanish last name. They're taking people who have American nationals who have Spanish last names, removing them from databases so that when they get pulled over by cops and people like that, they go, oh, you're not in the system. You're an illegal immigrant. You're an illegal alien. So they can detain them. Do you understand what's going on right now? Just in case you don't know what's going on, a girl on TikTok came on here and said that one of her neighbors received a government contract asking them to install a bunch of incinerators at Alligator Alcatraz.
Okay, so we played that already, right? But see, that's the thing. Now, while this is getting ready to be public news, there's a media blackout on all this because I was looking up some ordeals in Texas, and I'm getting a bunch of recycled information, fake videos. People are uploading videos of shit that happened in Argentina and China. And they're saying it's Texas. So clearly there's a media block on a lot of the information that's being brought out because they don't want people to be aware. But overall, man, this society is getting ready to break down. And the crazy part about it is that why ain't nobody up in arms about this? Okay, you literally got this guy that declared himself a dictator to infringe on your freedoms, totally do away with the Constitution. And yet the only thing the American people do is go to work, pay bills, pay taxes, and continue to live they hog dog lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? And not even focusing on what's ahead. It's like these people are not even mentally aware of what the fuck is going on here, man. This is why they're getting ready to be taken off guard. Because look, it says undocumented immigrants arrive at Alligator Alcatraz. Document reveals enforcement plan for Elevator Alcatraz. And you can't really listen to CBS and NBC News because they give you a bunch of convoluted information. This is totally, it's some folly, man. But anyway, let me play one more video. And we'll get a couple of precepts here. I'm trying to find it. This is the one I want.
Violent crime in the next...
No, this is not the one I want. Let's see. Is this it? Fuck, man, I can never find the one I'm looking for. This video with a Jake on there. Birthright citizenship. Collapse. I had it I queued it in. Time is speeding up. No. That's wild. I just had it in my queue. I don't know what the hell happened to it. Anyway, let's do this.
Please don't tell me. Just in case you don't know what's going.
No, I don't want to hear what no nigga got to say. Jake, man, they just be repeating shit. Matter of fact, I was looking at Elder Malcolm's video. Let's do this. Elder Malcolm had it queued up.
And the spark of his...
Hold on. Yeah, this guy here. This Jake dude here. We are in danger. Okay, cool. I don't want to steal a soundbite, so I'm going to type that in real quick. We are in danger. And this is what having so much shit going on in the world. It's hard to get with everything. Yeah, here we go.
Ice that was just infused with $170 billion, a la the Big Beautiful. So we got a secret police force in ICE that was just infused with $170 billion, a la the Big Beautiful budget bill of bullshit yesterday. The Supreme Court last year ruled that the President of the United States cannot be held accountable or liable criminally for official acts. And that very same Supreme Court earlier this year just basically put an end to federal judges being able to enact nationwide injunctions on unlawful executive orders. I'm being so fucking deadass when I say this, bro. We are in grave danger. Oh my God, y'all don't even understand how bad.
No, you niggas are in danger because you don't know the Heavenly Father. All right? So this is the book of Mark 13, and I'm going to start at verses. Let's start at verses 7. It says, and when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled. It says, for such things must need be, but the end should not be yet, right? So this is the beginning of sorrows. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, world wars, proxy wars, regional wars, class wars, race wars, civil wars. Nation rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And there should be earthquakes in diverse places. Man, we've had, you can't even count on number how many earthquakes we done had. And not only that, the floods in Texas, which Lord's will, I can cover that next. But the floods in Texas, that's a form of earthquakes, all right? Because earthquakes doesn't necessarily have to be in the form of the earth shaking, even though that is the most commonality of an earthquake. But world shaking events can be considered earthquakes as well, all right? But it says earthquakes in diverse places, and there should be famines and troubles, and these are the beginning of sorrow. So only thing we're waiting on now is the famine and the collapse of the system, which will bring in the MOTB. But when famine sets in, that's when people will start to revolt, all right? But it says, but take heed to yourselves, for they should deliver you up to councils and in the synagogue, and you should be beaten, and you should be brought before rulers and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them. So this is going to be the fate of certain brothers, man. All right, some of us going to have to be brought before councils and governors, and, we're going to have to tell them what it is. And then, certain brothers are going to get the guillotine. It's all part of the Lord's, it's all part of the Lord's movie. But this is leading up to it. Now the brother shall betray brother to death, and the father the son, and the children shall rise up against their parents and shall cause them to be put to death. So this represents a division, and we're seeing division on all sides, from political to particular regimes to family members. Hell, even the military, you're going to have a political divide in it, because according to the Constitution, the U.S. military, if you take an oath of office, or you take an oath and you swear allegiance to the United States to uphold the Constitution of the land, or the law of the land, and technically there will be division among the people, because the current administration does not abide by the Constitution. Neither did the last one before that. I don't know really an administration since I've been on the planet Earth that really abided by the Constitution. But that's yet the law of the land they claim to uphold, but yet you're taking U.S. citizens and ending birthright citizenships because they have foreign parents. You're taking them and you're throwing them out of the country, when yet they didn't allocate a substantial amount of tax dollars to your system, and you still deport them. I mean, that's against your Constitution. Hell, fucking the IRS, child support, paying taxes, that's all against the Constitution. So why haven't the people took up arms? Because in the actual Constitution, it tells you that if you have a tyrannical and a wicked government, you have the right to bear arms and to overthrow the government. But see, what happens in these situations is that you overthrow a bunch of evil, wicked people to be replaced with evil, wicked people. So the people that may be doing the overthrowing it, like the citizens, hell, they just as corrupt, if not even more corrupt. Okay, they just don't have a power bank behind them to enforce corrupt policies. But you think if these people took down a current administration, you think they're going to rule any better? Fuck no, because hey, the scriptures say, Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Okay, so this is a wicked rulership. This is just meant to be a wicked rulership. You know, so that's just what it is. But it says here, and ye should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endured to the end, the same shall be saved. So this is about enduring. All right, but when ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing where ought not, let him read it. Let him that read it understand it. Then let him that be in Judea flee into the mountains. And the modern day abomination of desolation is the modern day Romans. Okay, these Edomites that's getting ready, and you seeing it. He's coming down with great wrath. Okay, they said they want to live stream you them feeding your ass. They said 65. They said alligators will have 65 million people in these detention centers. They said that the alligators will have enough food, and they'll live stream you trying to escape and feeding you to the fucking alligator. So basically, if you try to escape this concentration camp, basically you're gonna be alligator food. And they made it's like they made sport out of it, man. Okay, they straight up told you. They said, well, look, yeah, well, we'll live stream your ass getting ate up by Buffy the alligator. And them alligators are fat as hell, man. Them niggas are thick motherfucker, meaty alligators, man, that can literally snap you like a twig. And you think this devil, you think he's not, you think he gives a shit about you? Okay, we've been telling you, Jakes, for the longest, hey, this white man don't give a fuck about you, man. And you finna find that out. And we mentioned at Kent that they want to build alligator Alcatraz in all these fucking states, man. So, I mean, don't think that they're not going to follow suit. You know, we're dealing with the deceitful and a bloody and a violent man, bro. This man is not wrapped tight. Okay, you're dealing with a fucking murderer. The first murder, hey, he murdered his own brother, man. Abel, which was, you know, in reincarnation, Jacob. But anyway, it says, and let him that is on a housetop not go down into the house, neither enter therein to take anything out of his house. So, hey, when you on a prowl, you got to go. Can't be going back for that fresh pair of kicks so you can run. Nah, bro, you got to keep it pushing. But damn, bro, I got to go get my backpack. I got my PS5 in there. I might get some type of signal in the woods, you know, type of deal. No, bro, you gotta keep pushing. Well, I forgot my sword. I got to go get it. I might have to fuck that sword. Go, you know. And it says here, and let him that is in the field not turn back again to take up his garment. But woe to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. It says, woe to them. All right. And like that Jake said, oh, we're in trouble. And pray ye that your flight be not in winter. It says, for in those days should be affliction, such it was not from the beginning of the creation which the Most High created unto this time, neither shall be. And except that the Lord have shortened these days, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake whom he have chosen, he have shortened the days. So as this progresses and things get worse, the days are going to start speeding up. Okay, like I believe they went into it. They said like we're losing like a percentage of a second a day. That's why the days like are going quicker. Like it's finna be 2 o'clock already. And I ain't even accomplished half of what I needed to accomplish because the time is speeding up. Our routine remains the same, stagnant, whatever, but time is overlapping that quick. You know, an hour ain't the same what it was 15 years ago. An hour 15 to 20 years ago actually felt like an hour. Now an hour feels more like minutes. So, yeah, this thing is getting ready to come to a head, man. And our people, they're not ready.
This shit could get. I've made several videos stating what I'm about to say, but I'm going to do it every day until y'all get the message. You got two choices. Lock and load or get the fuck out of here.
And a lot of people are saying revolution. The only thing that's going to correct this problem is a revolution. No, the only thing that's going to correct this problem is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai delivering his elect and destroying this wicked system. Okay, that's the only solution. Taking up guns and shit ain't going to do a goddamn thing but get you in more of a situation. But that's what the people are going to do because that's what the scriptures say. So for you people, a revolution may be your only answer. But for us, we're going to wait upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man, because that's where it's at. Okay, our revolution is in the faith of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, we're not picking up no weapons or no arm to do a damn thing. We're waiting on the Lord, man, because that's what he said. Wait ye upon the Lord until he rise up to the prey.
Say that one more time. Lock and load or get the fuck out of here, bro. Just
Can nobody
leave.
afford to
Do it
leave,
now
bro?
while shit is still calm, while the borders are still open. And that go for everybody, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever the case might be, because the shit that's finna touch down in 3 or 4 months, oh my God. I saw a video on here that basically said that Trump and the administration were able to convince some of the hesitant Republican lawmakers to sign yes on the big beautiful budget bill because he gave them a sneak preview of what was to come as far as executive orders. You better run, don't walk, run to your nearest gun store. Get you everything you need. Buy all the ammunition you need. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. And if you're an immigrant, or your daddy is an immigrant, or your mama's an immigrant, or you look like you fit the description, I would seriously consider getting the fuck out now. Because they're already making the concentration camps and they're calling it Alligator Alcatraz. And trust me when I say they will not just stop with Latinos or Hispanic people. They are just the easiest target right now. You African.
They're coming for all 12 tribes. You so-called Negroid races, you Latino races, and you Native American races. All right? The Negroid from Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and the Hispanic tribes to the Native tribes, all the way from Ephraim down to Issachar. They're coming for every last one of the tribes, man. All right? We seen what happened with Levi. And Levi, of course, Levi's going to fight because Levi, Levi's more, they got more aggression, they got more vigor, they got more tenacity about them. Fucking Judah, Judah just threw, man. They just threw. But when Judah gets roused up completely, that's when all the tribes are gonna say, you know what, fuck it. It is what it is. And that would be the result of it.
With a funny sounding name, they're gonna find a way to put you in that motherfucker too. You Asian, don't think you safe just because you the model minority. Oh no, they gonna lock your ass up too. If you alphabet gang, don't let them people catch you lacking, bro, because they gonna put belt to ass. And to all my black people out there watching this, they gonna do us the worst. They getting all these people up out the way, right? Because it's easy. But when they get done with them, oh trust me, they gonna do us dirty. I'm trying to tell y'all. So be prepared. Lock and load or get the fuck out now. And to any black people that might still be watching it, listen, I know we've been on the sidelines watching and waiting and letting these dummies that elected this fool feel the consequences of their actions. But it's going to be time for us to jump off the porch. Not right now, but soon. So be
Nigga, you only porch you better be jumping off of is onto your Shah's porch. But they gonna do Jake the worst because they have the most hatred for the Southern Kingdom, starting with Judah. All right, you the head tribe. Judah gonna catch it the worst, as always. Because the Most High has the most controversy with you because you're the head tribe and you're the most debased. So this is really the Heavenly Father getting ready to get even with you niggas, man. And gladly so. All right. And it says here, and except the Lord have shortened those days, no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake, whom he have chosen, the days have been shortened. So time is speeding up because this is getting ready to be bad. All right. Hosea 5, and I'm going to start at verses 3. It says, I know Ephraim and Israel is not hid from me. For now, O Ephraim, thou committest whoredom, and Israel is defiled. All right. And Ephraim is going into the northern kingdom. Israel is going into the rest of the tribes of the northern kingdom. All right. And it says Ephraim because Ephraim is like the head of the northern kingdom, so to speak. But it says they were not framed their doings to turn into their power. For the spirit of whoredoms is in the midst of them, and they do not know the Lord. So this is why he's coming down on you, man. Because a lot of you Hispanics that classified as being white, you come over here and you think you better than Jake, man. Then, hey, the Lord is getting ready to throw your ass in the incinerator right along with the so-called black man. Because as quiet as it's been kept, those Mexicans down there, they uprooting them gringos down there. They fucking Esau up down there because of the cost of living, inflation. They've been overrun. And Issachar, they getting ready, they putting foot up in Esau ass, man. And that's getting ready to be worldwide because not only that, you got the other nations rising up against Esau. So Esau is getting ready to be a chase row because Jacob's trouble is the world's trouble, okay? When Jacob's trouble come, Esau going to be getting jacked up too. Moab, Ammon, none of you are exempt. All right, but the powers to be will focus more on Jake. And that's going to create a ripple effect, and it's going to create some type of domino effect in Babylon, and everybody just going to just be in fucking chaos, man. Okay, you liable to get attacked randomly. If you out in the streets and all hell breaking loose, you're liable to get attacked, all right? Because this is going to be a completely lawless society with no rules, no law enforcement. And you're going to have the military that's going to try to establish order. But even the military is going to be in for a rude awakening because the people outnumber them, they were smart. They would literally band together and overthrow, but they people are not that smart. You know, people will put aside their petty differences and focus on a greater good at hand. It's not gonna go. But anyway, it says here, and the pride of Israel doth testify to his face. Therefore shall Israel and Ephraim fall in their iniquity. Judah also shall fall with them. So you see, all the tribes are getting ready to meet the judgment of the Heavenly Father. Because Jake, what is Jake doing? Being wicked, you know, simping, just being a bunch of damn demons, man. You know, Jake still, you got black women twerking. You know, black women, they still in that I don't need a man, boss bitch spirit. You all getting ready to get a wake-up call. It says, and they should go with their flocks and with their herds to seek Yahweh, but they should not find him, and he should withdraw himself from them. So you're going to try to call on your gods and Jesus Christ and Jesus Christos and Virgin Mary. You know, a lot of you niggas going to call on Allah, and that's when the Most High going to really put his foot up your ass. All right? Because the Most High is tired of playing. He's tired of talking to you, man. And he's talking to you in the form of his prophets, and he's tired of your ass. We're tired of you niggas. You know, but nonetheless, this so-called white man, he's the devil, and he needs to be dealt with, and he will be dealt with. And it says here, and they should go with that. I read that. It says, and they have dealt very treacherously against Yahweh, for they have begotten strange children. Now should a month devour them with their portions. All right, but going down here, let's go down to verses 11. Matter of fact, let's start at verses 9. It says here, Ephraim should be desolate in the day of rebuke, but among the tribes of Israel I have made known that which should surely be. But the prince of Judah were like them that removed the bound. Therefore I will pour out my wrath upon them like water. Woof. Ephraim is oppressed and broken in judgment, because he willingly walked after the commandment. But therefore I will be unto Ephraim as a moth, and to the house of Judah as rottenness. And when Ephraim saw his sickness, and Judah saw his wound, and Ephraim went to the Assyrian and sent to King Jareb, but yet he could not heal you nor cure you of your wound. For I will be unto Ephraim like as a lion, and I will be a young lion to the house of Judah, and I will tear and go away, and I will take, and none shall rescue him. And I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face, and in their affliction they will seek me early. Yeah. So now is the time to seek Yahweh Shai and really just be in the spirit, man. Because, hey, this dude Trump, hey, he ain't fucking playing games with you, Jakes, man. The Lord ain't playing games with you. This is the judgment of the Heavenly Father. All right, I don't know how many times I'm going to keep saying that, but that's just what it is. Ungodly men afraid. King David said the flood of ungodly men made him afraid. Not godly. What the fuck? I just typed that in. Why the fuck did it not come up? This is what I'm talking about. Anyway, Psalms 18, and let's start at verses 2. It says, Yahweh is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation. My high tower is as I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So should I be saved from my enemies? Yeah, because we're going to believe in Yahweh Shai, because there's going to be a standard that's going to have to be lifted up in these times, because if not, then we will all literally just get done away with. And the Most High ain't going to have that this time. It says, for the sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. And the floods of ungodly men is talking about martial law, because the scriptures say when the enemy should come in as a flood. And then also you have something which is called stormtroopers. Look that up. And it says here, and the sorrows of hell compassed me about, and the snares of death prevented me. But in my distress I called upon Yahweh and cried into my power, and he heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled, and the foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken, because he was wroth, man. So he's going to come through for his elect. He's going to pour through. All right, he's going to pour through, and hey, that's when we're going to rejoice, because the Lord, he's going to deliver his elect, man. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel 23 and 23, and I end it. And it reads here, it says, and the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekah and Shoah and Koah, and like all the Assyrians with them, all of them desirable young men, captains and rulers and great lords and renowned, all of them riding upon horses, which is military equipment. It says they shall come against thee with chariot, wagons, and wheels, and with the assembly of people, which shall set thee buckler and shield and helmet round about. And I will set judgment before them, and they shall judge thee according to their judgments. And I will set my jealousy against thee, and they shall deal furiously with thee, and they shall take thee away, thy nose and thy ears, and thy remnant shall fall by the sword, and they shall take thy sons and thy daughters, and thy residue shall be devoured with fire. Okay, it says they shall also strip thee out of thy clothes and take away thy fair jewels. Thus I will make thy lewdness to cease before thee, and thy whoredom brought from the land of Egypt, so that thou shalt not lift up thy eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt anymore. So this is all due to idolatry, man. All right, the Most High is judging Jake because of their wickedness. So this man is getting ready to lose it. Revelation 12:12. You know, Isaiah 19, and I'll start at verses 4. It says, and I will give the Egyptians over into the hand of a cruel Lord. We believe that's Trump. And a fierce king shall rule over them, says Yahweh and Yahweh of hosts. So this is where we're at, man. So with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you will edify. Until the next lesson. Shalom.